Okay, guys, I'm starting to wonder what's going on with the situation with Janie and Justin. That would be Daniel Martell, the stepdad, his mother, and stepbrother or actual real brother. I haven't figured that out yet. Not too much has been said about the brother, Justin. Now, Justin was seen crying a lot, and then, and you're going to hear in this next clip, Grandma Belinda has been asking about what kind of large dog was inside that camper. Why was Belinda wondering what kind of dog it was? And she's wondering why Janie was so upset about letting the police in to search her camper. Okay? She was saying the dog could get hurt. Now, think about it. Why would a dog get hurt if police are going to go search? Okay? Now, if they need to search the camper, just take the dog and put it in the car or take it somewhere else. All right? Let the police search. So Janie also in these statements that she didn't want them searching a cupboard or whatever inside of her trailer or camper, if you want to say. Now, listen to this next clip and let me know what you think about this.
Female officer that was there, and they're saying that Janie refused to let her search her trailer. That's bullshit. The officer asked Janie if she could search the trailer, and Janie said, well, if you want to risk getting bit by my dog because he's in there tied up and pissed off, so if you want to go in, go ahead, but if you get bit by the dog, it's your own arse.
Well,
So
I do remember when I was there, I don't know who put their arm around her and told her, Mom, they're not blaming you. They just want to search the trailer. And I do remember her saying she didn't want her dog to get hurt.
Thank you very much. You just confirmed.
So same idea.
Thank you so much, because we're actually confirming partially back and forth stuff that we're both saying to each other. And when two people hear in different spots and different places, it makes it look a little more truthful. And that's a lot of how I'm trying to get at the truth, is different people saying different at different times. So anyway, I don't want to rave on, Belinda. Please, I'll stop for now. And I can't even remember where I just stopped.
Well, no, you were talking about Janie, and you were talking about the information in the statement, and you said so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Belinda, that's when Janie finally jumped in. I was 90% sure, through a bunch of other stuff, that Daniel never killed those kids. As far as abuse or anything like that, I wasn't getting into that issue either way. That wasn't my business. Because the only way that would be my business is if Malaya herself. Now, Patty suspected abuse, and that's how I got into this. Patty, I went over about 2 weeks. It'll be too long. Let's just put it this way.
Yeah.
I'm trying to shorten it.
It's okay, shorten it. Mm-hmm.
Patty suspected abuse. Patty called me and said, you know Daniel, right? I said, yeah, my young fellow knows him, and he was around our property a few times. She said, what do you think of him? I said, I find Daniel fine young fellow, never been a problem. So that was all right. She said, look, I think I have a problem. And I said, what's that? She said, I think Daniel's abusing Jack. And I said, why would you say that, Patty? What do you think? And she said, because when they visit here, Jack's getting marked up. He's getting some bruises and scratches and stuff. And I said, oh, Jesus. So I said, Patty, well, I said, it's like this, and I think I knew where her conversation was going. I think she was going to ask me to sort of butt in. And I did. At that point, I said, no. I said, as long as Malaya and Daniel are living together as a couple, on your word, Patty, or anybody else's, nobody has the right to interfere in their relationship. I said, but at this, Patty, I said, if Malaya's in trouble and the cops won't help her, I said, then tell Malaya to call me directly with her own voice and her own mouth and tell me she wants out of there, and she's scared to get out of there, and I'll go right over and I'll take her out of there with the kids. And I said, I'll take her to your place or wherever she wants to go. And I have